All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to declassify a mission. We're going to break down this tabletop scenario, Operation Damocles, piece by piece, almost like it's a real intelligence briefing. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's set the scene. The date is September 10th, 1942. The world is at war. Your full attention is required. And this is our area of operations, La Rue Saint-Antoine. We are deep, deep behind enemy lines. Make no mistake, conditions are hostile. So, what's the mission? It's called Operation Damocles, and the objective is absolutely critical. We have to neutralize a secret V-2 rocket program before it can become operational. To do this, 2 teams are going to be inserted under the cover of a bombing raid on a nearby railway bridge. Secrecy is paramount. So, who's on the job? Well, these are your assets on the ground. 2 elite 5-man teams from the 101 1st Airborne Division. For a mission this complex, we're sending in the absolute best we have. Let's take a look at the manifest, shall we? You've got Alpha Team, led by Captain Jassome. And then there's Bravo Team, under Sergeant Hinnebusch. These are the soldiers you're in charge of, and believe me, every single decision you make from here on out is going to determine their fate. Okay, so every good operation has a clear plan, right? Damocles is no different. It's structured with a series of escalating objectives. This isn't just one big action. It's a chain of events that has to be completed in order. First up, you've got the hard target. Destroy that rocket. That is the core of the mission. But just blowing things up isn't enough. Intelligence is just as vital. You've got to find a map to a secret fuel lab, and you have to secure the V-2 plans themselves. And finally, well, then there's the lead scientist. And this, right here, is where things get really complicated. This is where you have to make a critical decision. You know, what I find fascinating about this mission's design is how it defines victory. It's not just about getting your team out in one piece. No. The briefing actually lays out this really cool scoring system that measures just how successful you really were. So, let's break that down. What does a real win even look like in this operation? How do you go from just, completing the mission to pulling off something legendary? Take a look at this. If you just destroy the rocket, you get a civilian victory. That's 10 points. If you do that and find the map, boom, you've achieved an armed victory. Secure the plans on top of that, and you're considered trained. You see how it works? Each objective you complete layers on top of the last, pumping up your score and your final rank. But here's where it gets really interesting. The whole mission comes down to these last 2 rows. Look closely. You've got professional and elite. The objectives are almost identical, but that one final choice, that one tiny difference, changes everything about your score and the outcome. And this chart, it lays it all out perfectly. Eliminating the scientist nets you 40 points, a professional victory. And hey, that's a solid win by any standard. But capturing him, that's the whole ballgame. That's 50 points. That's how you get that elite victory. It is much, much harder to pull off. The risks are way greater, but so is the reward. 10 points, that's all it is. But everything hinges on that 10-point difference. The entire strategic weight of this mission builds towards the single dramatic choice. It's a test of not just your tactics, but your guts. So the briefing's over. The intelligence is on the table, and your teams are on the ground waiting for your command. The choice is yours. What's the call, Commander? Do you capture or do you kill?